mostly if you go to any interview, they will touch upon only these services. Means without asking these questions, they will not go to directly to any WAF or any Lambda functions or any API gateway. So these are the main services. So most of the in most of the trainings they will cover these services, and at the end of this course I will deliver one project on AWS as well. Till now, is it clear for you people? Yes, means one DevOps along with one cloud. Always it will be added advantage. Means you will get a chance like 80% choice that with DevOps plus AWS you will get 80% of jobs. And means we are going to our main agenda of today. And agenda for today is, as Srin was told, we are going to have two demos. One is on today and one is on third. And I am planning to cover today is complete DevOps, and on next day and 3rd September I am going to cover AWS. And I think most of you are beginners in DevOps, or some of you are new to DevOps, so you might be having these questions. So that is the reason I thought some of the questions which I had when I am started my career as a DevOps engineer, so I have recollected and I have put these questions. So you may have these questions like why DevOps, what is DevOps, and if you see in current market, DevOps is high payable and highly demand job in current market industry. If you compare with India, in USA you will have if you have 10 openings in the market, you will have 2 to 3 openings out of 10, so which are belongs to DevOps. So that much DevOps is in demand. I will tell why it is in demand, and I will show DevOps life cycle, and who are DevOps engineers, which skill set DevOps engineers should possess, and benefits of DevOps, why industries, why companies are using DevOps, what are the major benefits, why companies are moving towards DevOps, and I will explain you what are the tools and technologies are present in DevOps, and what are the tools we need to install to work on DevOps and day-to-day life, and what are the programming languages or scripting languages we need to work with DevOps, and what are the use cases. I will tell you some of the major use cases where they have implemented DevOps and they become market leaders, and I will explain you some of the terminologies which we'll use in DevOps in day-to-day life, and I will explain you what is the relation between the DevOps and cloud technologies, and why these two technologies are going parallel. And I will tell what we will learn in this sessions, like what we are going to learn in our future sessions. We will discuss about this. This is our today's agenda. Do you have any doubts till this slide? Okay. Let me ask one question. Like anybody is having any prior experience in DevOps, or who is the beginning or experts, or who is having any knowledge on DevOps? Yeah, go ahead. Okay. Okay. Any other inputs? Yeah. Okay. You worked as a Scrum Master and you want to move to DevOps. Okay. Good. Okay. Any other inputs? Yeah, Shailaja, go ahead. Okay. 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 Business analyst. Okay. 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 Okay, okay, no problem. Okay, okay, okay. You are used complete CI/CD setup there. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, yeah, it's great. Okay, we are going to learn in depth of all those technologies, and we will try to extend if we are not going to complete in 45 days. So I don't have any issues with that, but we are going to learn all the technologies in depth. Okay, I'm going to next slide. Is it okay till this slide? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to explain what is DevOps. Means I'm going to tell you one software development life cycle. Like we have software development life cycles like waterfall model, methodologies like waterfall model and agile, and we have Kanban, and these are the methodologies are there. So this before DevOps, we had two teams. Like one is developers team and one is operations team. So means they have these two teams have their own priorities. The development team is their priority is to develop the code and develop the application. Let's say example, we have a web application. So to run web application, previously we used to have two teams. One is for developing the web application, and after they develop their code, and if it is work in their local system and in their local servers, they will give it to the support team. Previously we have a support team. Like after we develop complete thing, hand we will means if you are not talking, could you please put it in mute. After you develop your piece of code, you will hand it over to the support team, like that is operation team. So what was the problem in this approach is that developer will develop the code, and if it is working fine in his local system, and he will deliver to the operations. So in real means many of the issues we will get in real time scenarios. So operation guy will go and talk with the DevOps developer guy. So I am facing this issue, how to fix it, because operation guys don't know about technologies what developer has used. So developer will say it has worked with me. I don't have any clue why it is not working. So some conflicts used to come, and it will delay the deliveries, deliverables, and he has to this developer has to wait till end of the completion of the software. Okay, after he pushed his code into the production, after he deliver his code into operations, then only he will get the feedback. So this was the major drawback before DevOps came into picture. So after DevOps came into picture, this developer and operations will get combined by one person called as a DevOps engineer. DevOps engineer, like why DevOps engineers is more demand is DevOps engineer should have knowledge on both development as well as operations. It means he should have a development knowledge as well as admin knowledge. So this is the main role of the DevOps engineer. Like he has to view complete end-to-end system from development stage to the deployment stage. Is it fine till now? Yeah, means mainly DevOps guy is means in real time. I mean this is for like to understanding what is the DevOps I told. But in real time, what is the DevOps engineer means? DevOps engineer is a guy who will automate the manual process. Like here, what happened in the first scenario, it is the manual process. Here, a developer has created or written his code, and manually he has delivered his code or through files or through folders. He has delivered the code and he has deployed here. But here, DevOps guy will automate everything, like from checking the code to deploying the his application into the any servers or any Kubernetes clusters or in any OpenShift. He will automate everything. So this is the main role of DevOps engineer. Okay, everyone got understanding what is DevOps and what DevOps engineer will do, and what was the drawback when we not having DevOps concepts. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for confirming. Yeah. Yeah, good question. Like actually, DevOps engineer is a person who will not code complete programming language. Like a DevOps engineer role is to automate the manual things, manual process. What he is going to automate means whatever manually this developer can do, he can automate. Like let's say we have a uh, iOS application. So to build an iOS application, uh, iOS developer, what he will do, he will build the code. To build his code, he will use some set of commands or some set of command line tools. Command line tools means which are the commands we will run on terminal or command prompt or any PowerShell. So those commands we will call as a command line argument, command line command line steps. So those things this DevOps engineer will take and he will put it in some scripting languages, like either it in a shell script or it in a YAML format or it in a JSON format or it in a HCL format. Like DevOps engineer is no need to learn all the technologies from the scratch, but he should get idea on how that particular programming language will build. Let's say we have a Node.js application. So what Node.js like Node.js application where it will build, like it has to build an npm build tool. So the DevOps engineer should know on which build tool this programming language will build. And also if you are in the beginning of the your career, you can contact your developers and you can get that command line arguments and you can ask them, means they will always ready to help, because that is their day-to-day job. Our as a DevOps engineer, we have to take those steps and we have to automate. uh, to success in a DevOps position, we should know at least one scripting language that you have to be mastering, either of the Linux, either of the Python or any scripting language. Is it clarified your question? Yeah, means you no need to learn complete development knowledge, programming language, but you should know how to build that particular code and how to automate those command lines into your own way, like in your scripting. Is it make sense? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm going to next slide. Why DevOps? Like as I am speaking from past few minutes, like DevOps is like means collaboration between the developers and operations. So this is the flow of the DevOps. Like this is the standard what we say standard diagram for DevOps. Wherever you search any DevOps in the Google Images, you will get this kind of diagram. So means these are the major steps in the DevOps process, not in the DevOps process, in the software lifecycle process. So this is the software lifecycle. So in the software lifecycle, it will start from the plan. Means to develop any particular software, you have to have some plan. Means most of our let's say you have a 1 year of time for your application to be developed. Like within 1 year you have to develop a software. First 2 to 3 months will go for plan only, then only your project is going to success. Because without proper plan, without complete charts or without complete diagrams and flow diagrams and sequential diagrams, your project is not going to success. So we have to have plan, and after planning has to be completely approved and it is ready, we will move to coding phase. And after coding place, we have to go to build, and from build it has to come to test. This is completely handling by development team. And after test is completed, it has to go to release and it has to deploy in particular servers. And it has to be operate, like it has to run in the real time scenario, and it has to take monitoring, and feedback will come. Again plan will start. So this is the software life cycle. But in DevOps culture, this complete thing will happen on every day. Like let's suppose if you take a agile process. So what means I think one of our teammates are Scrum Master. What will happen in agile means for every 15 days sprint, we will have deliverables at the end of the sprint, right? We will have deliverable like we will have workable code at the end of the 15 days. But in the DevOps, uh, using some particular tools like continuous integration tool and continuous deployment tools, CI/CD tools, we will do these steps for each and every code check-in. Code check-in means let's say one developer is developing one code and he is using Bitbucket as a repository. Okay, he is writing his code in Visual Studio Code. Okay, he has completed his code and he has pushed his code into GitHub or any Bitbucket repository, and it has trigger webhook has trigger Jenkins pipeline, and in Jenkins your code has built and it has created some artifacts means jar or war file or any IPF or any APK files. So these artifacts has to deploy in the particular server. So these things will happen for every check-in. Like whenever the code is committed by a developer, this complete flow is happening. Okay, for every change in the code, we are getting a shippable product. Okay, is it clear to you? Hello? Yeah, here let's say here start from planning to code to build to test to release to deploy to operate to monitor. These are the steps we have to do in each and every software development life cycle. Is it clear till now? Let it be in agile model or let it be in waterfall model, everywhere. Okay, in agile model we will do these things for every 15 days. Okay, in waterfall model we will do for every cycle. Okay, is it clear for you till now? But in DevOps we will do this for every change in the code. Let's say you are a developer. Okay, you are designing one web application. You have inserted one new component, like let's say you have included one new button in your web page. Okay, you are going to check in your code, like you are going to save your code in Git repository. Okay, after you just checked in your code to Git repository, it will trigger like I am going to explain you means how it will trigger and all. I'm telling just conceptually. So it will trigger a Jenkins pipeline, and Jenkins will build the job and it will create the artifacts, and these artifacts will be deployed in particular servers, like let it be in AWS or let it be in Kubernetes and let it be in OpenShift or somewhere. And we will connect these Kubernetes and all those things with monitoring tools like Prometheus or Grafana or Nagios. I am going to explain all those tools in the future. Okay, this cycle will happen for every check-in, like for every means per day. We will do this activity. Let's say you have a 10 developers, we are going to do this 10 times or 20 times per day. Okay, in this way we are eliminating the risk, we are eliminating the error prones. Okay, this is completely automated, there is no manual intervention, so that is the reason we will get 100% results. Okay, is it clear for you? Yeah, and also means I will give one example. Can anyone knows how many times Amazon will get update per day? How many times it will get update without knowing to us? Any guesses? Like Amazon site is there, right? So how many times it will get update? Per day it will update 45,000 times. It is just because of this DevOps. Like means in Amazon, for every code check-in So they will have complete CI/CD system, continuous integration, continuous build, continuous testing, and continuous performance. So for means they will have, if they accept the pull request, it will go into the production. So that kind of level of CI/CD they are using. That is the reason Amazon is every time at the high in the market, because every time they will use new technologies and they are deploying these tools into market very quickly. Okay, is it fine till this point? Shall I go to next slide? Yeah. This is the DevOps life cycle, like as I told previously. So this is a engineer. Let's say you are at this point, and you have developed your code. Let's say you are writing your code in HTML, means I am going with very simple languages. You are developing your code in Visual Studio Code. You are writing in HTML, and after you done with your coding, you will push your code into Bitbucket, or let's say I have given here GitHub repository. GitHub is a source code management system. Okay, GitHub is a source code management system. Is like it is one website where we are going to store our code. Means if you not aware of this GitHub and all, you no need to worry. In the future classes I am going to explain all those things. What is Visual Studio Code, what is GitHub, what is Jenkins, what is registry, what is services, what is Kubernetes, what is monitoring, what is Grafana. Everything I am going to explain in details. As this is demo, I am just explaining with some simple diagrams. You have pushed your code to GitHub, and GitHub is a source code management system. We'll have a webhooks concepts or polling concept will be there, which will connect GitHub and or any source code management systems with any continuous integration or continuous deployment tools. Here we can replace this GitHub with Bitbucket or GitLab, or we can replace this Jenkins with Bamboo or TeamCity or VSTS, that is Azure DevOps. So this Jenkins will build that particular job, and it will create some artifacts. Here they have given Azure Container Registry, because for sample reason they have taken Docker. So it has built that application, and it has created the Docker images, and it has pushed it to the Azure Container Registry. Azure Container Registry is nothing but it is a one website where we will push our artifactories, and it will store our artifacts there. Okay. And after that, if everything goes fine, it will publish our artifacts to the Kubernetes services. I have taken here sample web application. That is the reason I am using Kubernetes. So this Kubernetes will connect with databases, and this Kubernetes can be integrated with monitoring tools like Nagios, or we have New Relic and many tools in the market, and we can connect these monitoring tools with the graphical representation tools like Kibana or Grafana. So this is the complete sample CI/CD. Like we have a continuous integration till Jenkins. We have a CI. This is continuous integration till here. Till here to here, we call it as a continuous integration. From Jenkins to here, this Kubernetes and this Azure DB and this monitoring, everything we will call as a continuous deployment. So DevOps lifecycle is, means without knowing CI/CD there is no DevOps. So DevOps starts at the end of the coding. Like if coding is completed by your engineer, let's say he is the developer, so he has completed his coding. From there our DevOps engineer work will start. We have to automate all these things. As a DevOps engineer, we have to automate how to push your changes from your this engineering phase to Visual Studio, from Visual Studio to GitHub, from GitHub to how to integrate your GitHub with Jenkins, and how to push your Jenkins artifactory from Jenkins to Azure Container Registry, how to push your artifacts to Jenkins to Azure Kubernetes services. These are the things we have to do. Like these all are means before AWS, before DevOps, these all are manual processes. After DevOps, we have to automate all these things. So this is our work. We have to create the complete pipeline. So Again, we have it will involve many technologies like source code management system and Jenkins, CD, and Dockers and Terraform. So we have to learn all those technologies. But at the end, we have to create this pipeline. We will call this as a CI/CD pipeline. Is it clear? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, who is a DevOps engineer? Like as we are talking from the past few minutes, DevOps engineer is a person who will have knowledge on end-to-end software development life cycle. Like he should have system administrator work. He should know cloud management. Like he have to know some any one of the cloud technologies like AWS or Azure or any of the cloud technologies, and he should have complete knowledge on any of the, not any, most of the like operating systems like Windows and Linux, and he should have knowledge on programming languages like Bash, Shell, Perl, Java, Python, and Node.js, and mobile applications, Android, iOS. Means he should at least have complete, not a programming language, but he should able to, if a developer give you a code, you should able to run that application. That much level of knowledge you should have. Like DevOps, every time DevOps will start at the end of the development phase of your project. Your developer has given you the code, you have to automate that thing. So that means why DevOps engineer is that this much demand, because knowing all these things here, we are means it is looking like very simple, like all basics if you know it will be enough, but in real time means knowing all those things is very very difficult. So that is the reason DevOps job is in high demand, and that is the reason DevOps is a very high payable job. And also like the ratio of the interview is like, if you interview at least 20 to 30 candidates, then you will get one candidate. So that much difficult, like you have to learn many of the things, but those all are very simple. If you go in a detailed, or if you go in a sequential way, you will achieve in very soon. Is it clear till now? Means why? Means what are the technologies we should know, and why DevOps engineering job is in high demand? Yeah, thank you. Why? Yeah, tell me. No, that's what I'm telling. Like, you no need to be no complete. Like, most of the DevOps engineer will use Shell. If you're good at Shell, that's more than enough. For scripting, we have to good in one scripting language. But coming to programming language means at least you have to build that code. Like, if you're not aware of that, your developer can help you. So because no one knows all the technologies, right? Let's say you are a DevOps engineer. I will tell my example. I am a DevOps engineer. Currently, I am working in one of the company, and currently I am working with 10 projects. Okay, out of the 10 projects are completely all are different language they are using. I know their code, I don't know what they are doing inside the code. They will give code to me, I will just build. So that much knowledge you should have, that you will get very, means that is not a big challenge. Means that you will get, if you google it, you will get very easily. Just search how to build a node.js uh, node.js code in google. You will get lot of resources. If you have to install node.js, and you have to run using the npm builder, that's it. Means these are the things you have to know. And also DevOps engineer should have like good communication skills, because you have to interact with multiple projects, and you have to interact with multiple people. It's not like you will have complete dedicated one project. You have to work with multiple projects, so you should possess good communication skills. These are the requirements for a DevOps engineer. Okay. Yeah. Means as I'm telling from the beginning, this is the high payable job in USA. Like if you see, so For 1,000 jobs you will have till mostly 700 jobs, like 700% will have chances to get the job. DevOps engineer is very highly demandable job. Yeah, use cases like as I told, these are the companies. I think these companies will known to everyone: Amazon, Microsoft, Netflix, Disney, and Google, and many more. Why these companies are in top 10 companies? Does anyone guess? Any guesses? Yeah, I mean it's good answer. Any more? Okay, I will go. Yeah. Why? Because these are the companies are they will introduce all the new technologies every day, not per month. They will introduce new technologies for every day. Amazon will introduce new technologies for every 1 hour. Like they will introduce new technologies using DevOps for every 1 hour. And Disney also. Previously, Disney was just a TV show. Like they have adapted the DevOps practices in their company, and after that they have increased like anything. They are gaining market like anything. I mean, within a very few, I can say within 2 years, they become competitor to Netflix is very simple application. So it has started following DevOps practices completely, very strictly. So they are giving releases like anything. So Netflix is completely using DevOps and AWS. They are not using anything. They don't have any programming also. They are having movies. They are deploying in AWS, and they are managing using the DevOps. They are relying only on DevOps and AWS. So that much this DevOps and yeah, any cloud technologies are powerful. And Google is founder of DevOps. Like they have introduced Kubernetes. Now, if you know the Kubernetes in the market very well, you are like if you stand in the road also, if you know Kubernetes, people will take you. That much it is in demand. These are the few use cases means. And also nowadays if you don't follow DevOps practices in your company, within 6 months your company will going to vanish. It is because of it is not only introducing the new technologies, it is releasing the your product quickly to the market. Like if you follow Agile, you will get the feedback after 15 days. But if you follow DevOps, you will get the feedback within 5 minutes. Like as soon as you push your code, if a build failure is there, you will get the feedback for that for that project, for that job itself. So you can rectify easily, and you can work on that issue, and again you can commit your code. So means it is like very it will bring DevOps will bring your products into the market very quickly. And that is the reason, if you don't follow the DevOps, you will be vanished within 6 months or less than 6 months. So that is the reason, as of today, 100% companies which are willing to sustain in the market, they are completely using the DevOps technologies. So that much DevOps is penetrated. So without DevOps, there is no company, there is no software company. Is it clear for everyone? Hello. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, benefits of DevOps, like as I am telling, like DevOps is like fewer failures. I told you, right? Like okay, now it is clear now. Everyone is facing that issue, or only he? Yeah, benefits of DevOps. Like benefits of DevOps is like as I am telling, fear failures, because for every check-in we will get the feedback and higher quality. Why quality is maintained? Because we will get feedback very easily, faster product delivery. Like for a we will get feedback very uh, immediately, and we can rectify our failures, and we can release our products to the market very quickly. As I told, Amazon is delivering 45,000 releases per day. And cost savings here, like DevOps plus AWS or any cloud technologies will save your cost like anything, because you don't need to maintain your data servers, and you don't need to maintain your infrastructure. Means everything is on fly. Means in AWS you can create one virtual machine, you can use it for 5 minutes, or you can use it for 1 month, and you can destroy it. So within one click you can create, within one click you can destroy it. So you don't need to maintain any physical servers. Let's say you purchased 100 GB of one machine, but that purpose of that machine will be only for 6 months. So after 6 months, who will buy that? You have to just dump into like in your trash. So if you go to AWS, or if you follow DevOps, you can grab and you can use whenever you need, and you can stop or you can terminate. And shorter dev cycles. So as I'm telling, for every pull request we will get the feedback, and lower risk because means we will get feedback very quickly, and means we can fix our issues very quickly, and we can push our latest release. And efficiency means, as we are tracking, or as we are getting our issues very quickly, and we are getting feedback very quickly, then efficiency will be more. And faster updates and better user experience, because we are introducing new technologies into the market very quickly. So that is the reason. So people will come to our site, and they will purchase our or they will visit our site. So these are the benefits of the DevOps looks like very simple, but these are the benefits, and without these DevOps, like, there is no software company or any products existed in this market. And coming to tools and technologies in DevOps, like we have I can say thousands of technologies, thousands of tools are available in the market. So it is up to our organization, or up to our choice. So what kind of technologies or what kind of tools we are going to use. We have like how many phases: plan, code, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have only 8 phases, but to support these 8 phases, I can say 80,000 tools are there in the market. Like let's say here plan is there. For planning we will have so many tools, like planning poker is there. From Microsoft we will have Microsoft Planner is there. So many of the tools are there. So means it's completely depends on your organization. And but standard tool is Jira. Means Jira is like planning poker we will most of the people use, most of the MNCs will use, I can say. And for code repositories, GitHub and Bitbucket and GitLab, these are the major market holders in the market. And Confluences is like Word document. So these are the technologies for planning and coding. And coming to build, for build we will have multiple tools and technologies, depends on our programming language. For Java we will have Maven, and for iOS we will have Xcode, and for Android we will have Android Studio, and for Node.js we'll have npm. So these are means different kinds of build tools are available, depends on our programming language. Coming to test, again for testing we will have multiple tools like Selenium, JUnit and Cucumber. We will have XUnit test, and multiple testing tools and technologies are there. And coming to release, for release we will have multiple technologies like Jenkins, Bamboo, TFS and CodeShift. Multiple technologies are there. And for deploy we will have containers, and those are Dockers. And AWS we will have ACS, and we will have EKS. Multiple deployment technologies and tools are there. For operate, we will have again multiple technologies like Chef, Ansible, Kubernetes, and orchestration tools. Multiple technologies tools and present. And for monitoring, we'll have Nagios, Spunk, and Datadog, and New Relic, and we have ELK processing. So many tools and technologies are there. So I put very few technologies which are relevant to the current market. So these are the technologies and tools we will use in DevOps. Is it clear? Yeah. 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 Yeah, nice question. Like monitoring, like we have Splunk and Nagios. Means DevOps engineer has to integrate these tools with these operate tools or deploy tools. Here we have a Nagios is there. Nagios is one different tool, and here AWS is different tool. As a DevOps engineer, you have to integrate this Nagios with AWS. As a DevOps engineer, you have to integrate Splunk with Docker. So this is the major work of the DevOps engineer in the monitoring. Like DevOps engineer has to integrate all these tools automatically. Means like using the scripting language or using the tools and technologies. He has to operate this complete process. Is it clear your question? Yeah. Any questions till now? Okay, I'm going for next. Like programming language or scripting language for DevOps, like basic knowledge on all programming language. As I'm telling from the beginning, basic knowledge. You no need to code in any of the language. As a DevOps engineer, till now I did not code in any language except in YAML. These all are not programming language. These are scripting languages. YAML, JSON, HCL, and Linux. So these are the scripting languages. Till now I did not code single line of code in any Android, any iOS, or any Node.js, but I know how to build those programming languages using the tools and technologies. That's it. Any doubts in this? What is YAML? YAML is like yet another markup language. It is like English kind of language. Like I will tell you means a complete skeleton of YAML and all. JSON. Most of the people are heard about JSON. JSON is like simple plain text kind of language. HCL means it is ASIC or configuration language. We will use this language. It is also JSON kind of language. We will use this language in writing the Terraform scripts. Linux is, most of the people are aware of Linux is a like we will have shell or bash script, so we will use those shell or bash script to automate all this complete process. Is it clear, or do you have anyone having any questions regarding this? Yeah. Anyone worked on Linux systems? Yeah, great. Yeah, yeah, you will feel very interesting when you start this DevOps course. Yeah, I think most of the people not aware of HCL. It is now means currently in DevOps, Terraform is most demandable technology. Means if you know if you are a DevOps engineer, you should know Terraform. So we will use HCL for that Terraform. I will tell you why Terraform we will use and all. And terminology and basic technologies in means what is the terminology we'll use. CI/CD. CI/CD means continuous integration and continuous deployment. Means as I shown in my previous slides, CI/CD is like automating our complete software development lifecycle from code check-in to the deployment. So we have to automate complete process. That process we will call as a CI/CD pipeline, continuous integration slash continuous deployment pipeline. And containerization. Containerization means like we will have a Docker is a complete very powerful tool. It is complete one new ocean, I can say. uh, that containerization will be enabled using Docker. Like we will have virtual machines, right? Virtual machine is like running multiple OS in one OS. Container is like running the thousands of containers in one small uh, operating system or in a small space. So that will be enabled, that will be called as a containerization. Infrastructure as a code. Infrastructure as a code means we will achieve this infrastructure as a code using the Terraform. Terraform is a HashiCorp, like it has built by one company called as HashiCorp. So using the Terraform, you can create your resources in the AWS. Like in AWS, we have the different services, right? VPC and EC2, and we have IAM and S3, and we have Glue, and we have SageMaker. Different kinds of resources or services are there. Creating those services manually will take lot of time and it will create lot of errors. So to automate that complete creation, that creating all the resources in the AWS will be achieved through technology, or I can say terminology called as infrastructure as a code, and we will use Packer and Terraform for that purpose. So that is called as infrastructure as a code, like creating the resources using the code is called as infrastructure as a code. Container orchestration, like containers are like isolation, I can say uh, running one application in the isolation area, but managing thousands of containers. For managing thousands of container, we need another software. That software or another technology or another tools, that tools and technology complete that area called as orchestration. Container orchestration means managing these all multiple containers are called as container orchestration. We have a Kubernetes, we have OpenShift for that purpose. And cloud computing is like using all our means instead of using our physical servers, creating all our infrastructure in the fly, or destroying our infrastructure in the fly, we will use cloud computing for that purpose. Site reliability engineering is like higher version of DevOps. We will have a site reliability where we will use DevOps principle as well as we will use some other more tools and technologies in the site reliability. Azure DevOps, like we have DevOps processes there. So Microsoft has completely built, uh, in market we have multiple tools and technologies are there for DevOps. But what Microsoft came up is like they have created end to end, from the source code management system to the deployment, like till the Kubernetes. They have created complete all the technologies. So those technology tool set or stack we will call as Azure DevOps. So this is very highly demandable course. So we will learn those also, some of the concepts of Azure DevOps. And Bamboo is like again a build tool. It is competitor to Azure DevOps and competitor to Jenkins. So we will use this Bamboo for building uh, our code. Jira is like a ticketing tool. Like I can say here we can create our task and features, and here we can create our user stories, and we can track our work, and we can track our number of hours who has worked, and we can track our complete our work. It is like project management tool. These tool also comes under DevOps. Monitoring tools, like monitoring tools, as I told, it will monitor our application, and in the real time we will have New Relic and Nagios. And Grafana representational tool. What are the monitoring tools? Like these tools will take data in the form of logs, so they have to represent this data in the form of graphical interface. For that purpose we will use Grafana. Is till in this slide, are you clear, or do you have any doubts? Because all these are very high level keywords, so we'll go in depth in our later sessions. Yeah, means containerization is like running your application in one container. Like you have a Docker file, Docker image is there. Like let's say you have one ball is there. Okay, inside one ball you have put one of your object. Okay, that is one ball. Okay, you can imagine Docker image as a one ball. Okay, you can but in real time you can't use that one ball. You have to use lakhs of balls to support your customers. Okay, you need to have lakhs of containers to support your customers, but to manage that lakhs of containers you need one more tool to manage that containers. So that tools we will call as a containers orchestration tools. Orchestration is a word like we will have orchestra right outside, means who will one orchestra person will be there, he won't do anything, he will just manage all the instrumental people. So in this way this orchestration tool don't do anything but it will manage the containers. So that is the difference between containerization and container orchestration. Is it cool? Containerization is Docker, container orchestration is Kubernetes. Okay, any doubts? Okay, like relation between the DevOps and cloud technologies, like as I'm telling from the beginning, like DevOps and cloud is going in parallel. Like I can say why DevOps is increasing because of cloud. Why cloud is increasing, I can say because of DevOps. Without DevOps there is much demand to cloud. Without cloud there is much demand to DevOps. That is the reason nowadays like let's say if you see DevOps came like DevOps started majorly from 2008 or 2007. If you see cloud also started very long back but it has boomed from 2008 or 2007 just because of these two tools are supporting each other. Like in DevOps we have a Terraform, so using the Terraform you can create your infrastructure within, if you code once you can create your infrastructure in any cloud within one click. So that is the relation between the DevOps and cloud. Means coming to DevOps, like you have a Kubernetes and you have a another orchestration tools and you have a Dockers and all. So all these are migrated to cloud. So these DevOps tools and cloud technologies are going in parallel, so they are supporting each other. So that is the reason these two technologies are evolving like anything. In the future we will not have any our computation system in our physical servers. Like as of now we have complete our Facebook and our Gmail and our photos and our contacts and everything in cloud. We means we are reducing our computation power day by day, because we like we have application layers like infrastructure applications or PaaS applications, SaaS application is software as a service. Like examples like Gmail and Facebook, all these things, they are just supporting to us, they are directly serving us as a product. Like we are saving our files and our images and everything in the cloud. So most of the like complete our infrastructure is moving to the cloud, and we need technologies to manage those infrastructure in the cloud. We will use DevOps for that purpose. So that is the reason these two technologies are going in parallel and they are supporting each other. So that is the relation between the DevOps and the cloud. Is it clear, or does you have any questions? Anyone is facing yeah, anyone facing this issue? I think I have delivered many things, but nobody has faced this. My mic is very new branded and my laptop also very new. I don't think yeah, because I am speaking little bit fast ahead because it is nearing our time, that is the reason. Yeah, I think I am good with my demo because we can talk more, but I think we are good. Do you have any questions not related to this demo? Means I can answer any of your questions related to DevOps and cloud. Yeah. Means that is for sure because scripting language is like basic scripting language. I will share you some of the references and resources to learn. Means you don't need to be master in that. You should know means where to apply the commands. Means if you Google it, you will get all the commands. But you should know where to apply those commands. And that it means in the initial days means if you progress you will directly code, but in the initial days you should know where to apply those commands, and means you have to work on that scripting part. Yeah, here. Yeah. Means that's what I'm telling. Means in my 6.5 years of as a DevOps engineer, I did not code a single line of code except which of the scripting language I have shown here: HAML, JSON, and HCL and Linux. So programming, we no need to, as a DevOps engineer, you no need to bother about programming, and you don't need to bother which language they have used. You have to bother which language they have used because you need to learn how to build that application, but you no need to code that. You no need to means see, I will tell you. uh, let's say you have a node.js application is there. Here if you type here in Google, how to build node.js project. See here you will get lot of resources. If you just follow this resource in the beginning, in the beginning of your career, you will get. Means here you don't need to learn anything, you don't need to code anything, right? Here you, yeah, this npm install, you have to first npm install. So if you follow these things, you will make your job. Is it clear? Hello? 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 Is it clear? You don't need to code anything. You don't need to code anything. Like you need to learn how to build that code. Means that is now also, like if anyone gives me any new programming language, I need to learn that. Means I need to go and check in the Google how to build that thing and all. Means uh, every year we will get tens of new technologies will come into the market. We have to learn those things, how to build. That's it. You don't need to learn. If you don't know that also, if you sit with any one of the developer, they will teach you in 10 minutes. That's not a big deal. Yeah, it's kind of scrum, like you're telling you're coming from the scrum master. So I think this will be, means if you work little bit extra, so you can easily uh, get into this DevOps job. Is it clear? Yeah. Anyone having any doubts? Yeah, tell me. uh, means it depends on company to company, which company you are given. Like if you give for a, like companies like Amazon or Google or any big companies, for a even manual tester also they will give you algorithms to write. Yeah. Means if you go as a manual tester also, they will give you algorithms to write. That is their level of interview process. Means if you apply in the same company as a manual tester, they will ask you to write the same. First round of coding interview will be there. If you go to that level of company, so obviously you need to have the knowledge on algorithms, and you have to have basic knowledge on programming language and all, because they will take most of the computer science students, they will expect to code minimum. After clearing that rounds, again they will come to these technologies only. They don't ask much more than this. Any doubts? Yeah. Now you people clear with your questions which I have posted in the earlier, like these questions. At least you got some understanding, right? Yeah. Okay, then if you clear, then we can stop here. And hello, Srinivas. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Bye.